Yeah, you're welcome back to the Souza blog, the African Liberation Station, the Africa Independence Station, and the African Defense Line. Today, I'm going to be a little bit elaborating on what is going on the Black Sea. On the Black Sea, between Russia, Ukraine, and the NATO, and Turkey, and Africa. Uh, People may say, why Africa? Because, about 2 years ago, there was a broadcast from me warning all Africa states to get ready for the worst. Because I told them the worst is yet to come. Because the Ukraine war was about to start that period. And they sent the warning out, and the people were saying, oh, you are just lying. It's only maybe about 20% of the wheat that we need in Africa that is coming from Ukraine. The rest, some come from Russia, and the rest is being produced ourselves. And, I was about to argue with these people that period, but I didn't argue because of some negative ways that was coming out of all this issue. So I have to retire from all those statements. And today, I'm still coming here to warn all Africa countries. If you have not got yet ready, get ready for the worst, because the worst is yet to come. Because the agreement between Ukraine and Russia just ended without extension. Without extension, and the problem is not just because of not extension of the contract or the agreement between both of them, but the problem now is any Ukraine ship that is going through the Black Sea to Africa may be bombed, and any Russian ship that is carrying wheat that is going to sail to Africa may also be bombed. And we can see the restriction of the ships and everywhere in Africa, going to Africa today. We can see the problem we are going to be facing in a month's time. In a month's time, we are going to be having more hungry people in East Africa, in Southeast Africa. We are going to be having more hungry people. It's not just Russia and Ukraine, also India. India put a restriction on the sales of rice outside India to other countries, the exportation of rice. Some of the rice, I can say about 10% of rice that is coming to Africa also come through India. You see, when I'm talking to our president and all that they should get ready, you see, there was enough time for us to get prepared for all these things. Having our own farm, producing our own food. But we are so dependent, we don't even think about doing things ourselves, rather than depend on importation of wheat. Africa has so many fighter land. We have so many fighter land that can really take care of our people without importing any food stuff from any country, without inviting the UN to start feeding our people. See, it's almost going to a year and a half now. There's no African country that stand up to say, okay, let me let us cultivate so many and so many acres of land for wheat or for rice or something like that. None of this country come up to do so. Rather, they travel down to Ukraine to beg for grain. They travel down to Russia to beg for grain. Instead of investing at home, investing on people who can do the farming at home. But they were traveling, and the president of Kenya is traveling everywhere, talking and talking and talking. That will not help Africa, because what you are doing now is also you are jumping from one slavery to the other slavery. You are jumping from United States and Europe slavery, jumping to Indian, Russia, and other big countries slavery. Because when the Europeans came to Africa, they told us they are going to be treating us equal. But less than 3 years later, they started enslaving us. Enslaving us, and this is what we are going to be seeing also with Russia and China. It has already begun. China started about 7 years ago by start giving us loan we cannot pay back. And Russia is going to do the same thing. It will say, okay, the European Union is going to be fighting you, and we are going to be protecting you. You have to be paying for us. Africa, they just hijack Africa. African is hijacked, and they are taking us on ransom, for no purpose, because our leader doesn't reason enough. Because he doesn't reason enough. Before you start traveling from one country to the other to start broadcasting, doing things that is not abnormal, why can't you sit down at home and work out a plan? A plan on how to farm, to feed our people. Feed our people so that our people will not go hungry, so that we will have lesser war in Africa. But we are not doing that. We are talking and talking. People are clapping just because somebody come out to be talking. We are not going to eat talking. We are going to eat what we sow. And my message is to the Kenya president, whether you like it or not, also to the South Africa president. We can see how the population of the blacks in South Africa are poor. But nobody talks about that. He doesn't even talk about that. He feels all less unconcerned about our people. Likewise, Kenya. Look at our people, how they have been treated in Tunisia, treated in Libya, treated in Morocco. I have never seen any African leader coming out to protest, to say Tunisia, call the ambassador of Tunisia to question them, or to summon them to tell them to stop what they are doing to our people. But none of them will come out. They close their eyes as they're not saying. They close their mouth as if they cannot talk. But how long can we endure this? Because Africa is in the verge of a heavy, serious civil war that is going to be coming very soon. Because we are going to be seeing overthrow of government, influenced by the Chinese, influenced by the Russians, influenced by the Europeans. Africa will now turn to a playground for everyone. Turn to a playground for everyone. So it's very, very important for us. We need the youth of Africa that we start thinking wise, thinking how to invest in Africa. Farming is one idea, because if you can feed yourself and feed your family, you have lesser problem. But as of now, we cannot feed our family. We cannot even pay the school fees, the education, to talk about educating our family. This is what is going on right now. And most of African people are thought they are too intelligent, but we cannot say there is intelligence that is being invested in Africa. We see them invested in talking and talking and talking and talking without doing anything. You see now, when the wheat is not coming to Africa, when the grain is not coming to Africa, when the soya beans is not coming to Africa, we are going to be having a very, very serious problem because nobody can really help us. Because I warned almost every African people that period. Let's stay clear from this war. Let us clear. Let's be neutral in this war. Because these are white people fighting themselves. We black people, we thought we know too much and we were commenting the way we like and supporting one side against the other. You know, it's very important we doesn't choose side because these people, they know themselves. They know why they are fighting themselves. They will come back to the table tomorrow and they will use Africa to settle. And this is what they are going to be doing. So Africa, mind the way you do things. Please go to farming. Let us start feeding our people because Ukraine is not even, let me say, 1/10 of Africa. Russia is not, you see, and these people, they can feed themselves and have enough also to export. Ukraine is not a developed country, to say the fact. It's not a Western country, but they still come out to do the farming, feed themselves, and export. But we, the Africans today, we travel from one country to the other to start begging for food. For what reason? And you want them to respect you. You want them to respect you. Who will respect you when you are a beggar? Who will respect you when you are a beggar? You want people to see you in the same level they are, then you have to work for it. Work for it. Make sure you feed your people. The people doesn't start begging any other government to start feeding them. And that is the problem we are facing now. And it's going to be getting tougher and tougher. Because the more this war take long, the more Africa is going to be suffer. We can already see this in all Africa cities. We can already see this. For example, Nigeria, how people are now crying, how people cannot even afford to transport themselves to the next street. You see? And it's not just only Nigeria now, in Ghana, everywhere. People are feeling the heat seriously. You know, without the grain, without IMF or something like that, International Monetary Fund and World Bank, Africa will not even be breathing. To say the fact, we will not be breathing because we own nothing. Number one, agriculture. Agriculture. You don't need to study to be a farmer. Our forefather already had this knowledge. You know, we need to build on it to have our own. You know, the fertilizer is not coming. The weeds, the grains are not coming. Then what do you want your people to eat? Do you want them to eat the gun you bought? So please wake up, African leaders. Wake up, start farming. It must be a modernized farming. Encourage our people to start doing farming so that they can feed themselves. We have enough space for farming. We can do our farming without even begging for 1 kilogram of any food from any other country or from any other continent of this world. Because these people, you see, even the grain they're bringing to Africa is it's already done that they cannot even sell it in Europe because of the way they are being handled with all sort of chemicals and all that. But we doesn't care. If we have our own, then we can dictate on how to use this grain. But today, even the seed to plant this grain, we have to buy it from them. To plant soya, to sow soya bonnet, we have to buy it from them. Even common maize, we have to buy it from them. So what part are we playing in the world? That's number one question. Why do you want people to take you as important person when you cannot feed yourself? When you cannot feed your family? When you cannot educate your family? When you cannot support your people? That is so many questions as I'm asking African leaders. You know, we are being treated the way we are being treated because we are not contributing enough to our own selves. to, to sustain ourselves. If we start doing that right now, if the president of Kenya, the president of South Africa, the president of Gambia, the president of Mali, if they can feed their people, I don't believe there's no Western world that will be coming, or there's no Russia that will be coming to say, okay, we will protect you, you give us your money, your mining something, you know, because nothing goes for nothing. That is what we haven't learned, and we should start learning that immediately, and before it's too late, because more is still coming. More is coming. As long as this war is going on, we are going to be having a very, very big problem. And even though the war will end tomorrow or end tomorrow, the impact will take a long time. The gap, we will need enough time to feel it. So it's better we start today than starting tomorrow. So I'm pleading with all African leaders to put things in order, to put things in their hands, and encourage our people to start farming and to feed Africa, because we are tired. We are tired of begging, begging and begging and begging. You went to Ukraine to beg, you went to Russia to beg, and you see how Poland disgraced us. You know? So it's like we doesn't understand what is going on. We just go begging and begging and begging instead of calling people. Then we have so many intelligent people in Africa who can fix a government, but we are not doing that because we are so selfish. Because of we want to satisfy our people that brought us to power. You see, and that should end in Africa, because Africa has people. We have brains. We have engineers, we have mechatronics, we have everything that's really need. Our people, this brain drain that is currently going on in Nigeria and other places. If our people see the improvement at home, security and everything, you will see how our people will be coming home to be investing in everywhere. But if there's no security, if there's no food, nothing, they will not. Nobody will come to invest in that country. Even though those one who will come to invest, disguised as a foreign investor, they are going to be taking us out. They are going to be taking all our monies away. So this is what has been going on in most part of Nigeria, because nobody control what is really going on. So thank you very much for joining me now. I will come back again to continue. So okay, bye bye. Yeah, Africa need to. We need to do things on our own way. Otherwise, it's going to be very, very difficult in the future for us, for our children, for